Hey all, it's Alma with the Cat's Pajamas, and today I want to show you how to create this fun card using mirror stamping. It's a card that spins when you open it. Pretty neat, huh? First, let's get the base of the card out of the way. Start with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of black cardstock folded in half. Then fold the front in half and crease well. I want to use this die, but I want to make sure that I have it perfectly centered. So here's a trick. Cut a shape from the die and fold it in half. Now I can line up the folds and it will show me exactly where the center is. I want to layer this dotted paper on the card, and I want all the layers together so that when the die cuts through all of them, it cuts through perfectly. So I'm going to do the same folding trick and use low tack artist tape to attach all the layers. I'm going to add the die cut to the top so I can feel where the die should be. Should catch right on the die, and I'll die cut everything through at the same time. I'll remove the black paper. You see it cuts the die perfectly right in half. And then I also want to cut the back pattern paper. So I'll leave the die on the front pattern paper and attach to the back, and then run the whole thing through the die cut machine. And now you have a perfectly placed die on both pieces of paper. Just roll off the low tack artist tape. Now I don't want the front pattern paper to go over the centerfold. I just don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to trim off 1/8 of an inch from both sides of the fold of this pattern paper. And so now I have two sides. I'll attach the two sides and the base to the black base of the card. Now for the saying, I want to use this ticket shape. So I'll cut a die cut from a black piece of paper. But I think I'm going to use this cute saying from our Big Cup stamp set and stamp using white craft ink. I'm stamping off first just to see if I get a clean image. And this looks pretty good. Now I'll add some white detail embossing powder. I find that white ink tends to soak into the paper and then it kind of becomes gray. So it's best to emboss in white so it always stays bright. Now here's the fun part, mirror stamping. And you'll need a MISTI or a stamp positioner. I'm using a MISTI. I used to do this with rubber a long time ago, but with the MISTI, it makes it so easy. I've used our free cutting file to cut out the penguin with the cup on his head. And I've also flipped the file for the mirror image and cut that out as well. So place that in your MISTI and place the flipped cutout in the spot it was cut out of. And I like to secure the paper. Then place a piece of acetate over the whole thing. I like to place a piece of washi tape at the top so I can flip the acetate easily out of the way. Now place a stamp on the acetate, lining up the image to the cutout. The base should attach to the acetate, and the part of the stamp that you ink up should be at the top. Now take a stamp that's larger than the stamp you want to mirror. It can be a solid stamp or a stamp that has an image that has a dense image. The image supports the mirror image, so you want the stamp to be supported where you stamp. Place this stamp with the base on the stamp you want mirrored and bring the top of the MISTI over so it attaches to the top. So here we go. Stamp up the image with a slow drying ink. I'm using VersaFine, and bring over the top and press. Don't press hard, otherwise the image might not be as clear. See how the image appears on the mirror stamp? Let's stamp and press again. Now since this image has a solid, I'm going to stamp one more time. Each time you ink, the image on the mirror gets darker, and I want that penguin to be nice and dark. Now we're ready to stamp. Flip the acetate back that holds the original stamp and stamp on the paper. Open up and carefully peel off the paper, and you have a mirror image. If you need to, place the paper back in the slot, flip the acetate over, and repeat if you didn't get a good image. Now I've stamped the stamp in the regular way, so I have two images that are mirrored, and it's time to color. I'm using purple and yellow pencils to color, slowly building up the color. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I think these work pretty well. To make the images stand out, I'm going to place a white die cut to nest in the center of the frame that we cut out of the card base earlier. Let's add the sentiment to the base with foam tape. And trim off the excess. Now finally, here's the spinning part of the card. Add a really sticky tape to the back of one of the penguins. And now add the string. You can use fishing line, but for now I'm using sewing thread so you can kind of see it, and I've doubled it over. Fold the front flap back and nestle the string into the fold. And secure with the line of glue. Now I'm not liking the thread showing through on the black cardstock, even though you can't see it really well on the white. So I'm going to take some matching washi tape and just cover the whole thing over. So the thread is secured by glue and the washi tape just covers the whole thing over. You won't even really see the back, because really it's the back of the card, but people are going to wonder how it flips. So they'll be looking at the back of the card. So I want it nice and neat. And trim off any extra washi tape that shows from the front. So now remove the back of the adhesive on the penguin and just slip it through under the thread. And take the other penguin and line up the first penguin and press firmly. This is pretty cute. Now I'm going to add a little bit of shading to the back, right behind the penguin, because it's always nice to have a little bit of dimension. Now all you need to do is spin the penguins and close the card. When it opens, it spins. Don't forget to spin the penguin before you place it in your envy. It's so cute. I hope you give it a try. You can find all the stamps and dies on the Cat's Pajamas website. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.